weird for you to wear shorts, as funny as that sounds.
Yeah, I'm usually the blue jean guy. It's the truth. I am the blue jean guy.
I'm not even gonna go there. It's gonna go funny.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely interesting could be the word to use. Anyway,
We got a little bit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spidercast Podcast. This is where father and son go down the rabbit hole of tech, gaming, and the meaning of life. Boy, today's going to be a fun one.
It looks like it's going to be a little interesting here.
We're going to have lots of topics today. Today, we're going to talk about going back to school, which you'll be doing this week.
Don't remind me. I'm not ready.
We're going to give some movie reviews. We're going to talk about 2K.
Wait, spoiler free or?
Oh, there's going to be spoiler. Well, not really. I guess not really.
Which one are we doing spoiler free? Which one are we not?
You know what? We'll call both of them spoiler-ish free. Spoiler-ish. Ish. Yeah.
Ish.
2K and Gearbox going after YouTuber, death to the loot boxes, the Samsung Fold, Walmart removing violent advertising, Twitch promoting porn stream on Ninja's channel. That's why I did the intro, because I knew you couldn't say that.
Well, with a straight face?
No.
Oh, I could have.
No, you couldn't.
Oh, I could have.
Vaginal discharge. Come on. Because you know you want a vaginal discharge out your mouth.
Okay, not fair. You said it twice.
That's a 2 for 1.
If a one can't get me, the second one will.
Normally we drink sodas here on the show.
Well, I at least have a soda.
You have a soda. I went straight for the alcohol. I'm drinking a little Smirnoff Ice.
I'm drinking one of the ones that we got down in Florida. I'm surprised we still have some of these.
Well, because remember, the last couple of weeks we've been doing other ones.
This one is called Oh So Delicious Butterscotch Root Beer. And I'll show it right here on cam. So. Oh, that's why the lighting's off.
Yeah, that's why the lighting's off.
But you can see it there. So, this is going to be a little interesting.
This will be fun. I am curious to see what that one tastes like. That's one of the ones that, like, sounded good. Well, you know, I don't know if necessarily that's...
What? I just skinned it. Smells like butterscotch.
Yeah, I definitely smell the butterscotch in it. I'm not the biggest butterscotch fan, so...
It's butterscotch.
That'd be so much better if it was cold.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. Not bad at all. That's drinkable. That's very drinkable.
But butterscotch has always been one of those things that it helps the throat. Kind of like a cough drop.
Okay.
I'm going if I don't have my face explode on stream. Oh, that one actually hurt.
I apologize to anybody who was listening to that. That probably got real loud. I saw it peak all the way to the top of the meter.
Ouch. I even turned away.
The weird part is like he started to say something. For anybody who's listening to this and not seeing it live or on recording, you know, it's like he started to say something and went like had this like almost like, oh crap, I'm about to pee my pants or something look in your face, and then you turned away and sneezed.
Well, no, because I had that sneeze going the whole time I was talking.
I know.
It built up and I ignored it. Not annoyed it. Yeah, you need to turn me down just a little bit.
Apparently, because you're being very loud now.
I'm loud today, okay? Oh, you're going to add in the one movie that you just watched, like right before this?
No.
Okay.
No, because you didn't get to watch that, so.
Nah.
It's not really.
Like I said, I wasn't
he's talking
about
he's talking about Anita Battle Angel.
I wasn't too excited about it.
It was a decent movie.
It looked nice, but I wasn't big on it.
I will say the effects in the movie, the effects were really good in the movie.
Well, they had to delay it like twice.
I see. That's the thing. It was one of those. Like I remember seeing some of the initial trailers, and I was like, "Oh, that looks interesting." But most of those type of movies normally, flop. They normally the CG is either shit or the story's just junk or they just do really funky things. But this had like really good actors in it. It had a pretty decent story. The CG was really good, and I'm sensitive to the CG thing.
It's because they took a long time to actually go through it, so they had time to iron out all of those small things.
Oh, there we go. That's better. I can actually see the chat now.
He is a sensitive snowflake. There.
Triggered.
Wrong use of the word.
I know, that was the whole point. It was
to mess with him.
He was doing that to piss me off, and I did it to piss him off. So anyway, so you go back to school this week.
Not happy about it, but I have to.
You're actually going back a week earlier than you technically would have. Careful.
That's going into what part of what we're talking about today, actually.
Yeah, well,
but it's one of those things. I don't want to go. I have to go. Wait, do I really have to? And yes, well, from
yeah. Way to turn that around. Anyway,
this is why he needs to drink.
Probably should tell him what you're doing.
I'm going into cybersecurity this Thursday. Actually, going to the back to school night tomorrow, and then a lot of other fun things. Yay! Yeah.
Hooray for beer!
Well. You say it. Smirnoff is a vodka?
Oh, they make a vodka. This is a flavored alcoholic drink.
I can smell it from here.
It's not vodka, but they are famous for their vodka. So they make every freaking flavored vodka on the planet. It's actually kind of crazy the number of flavors you can walk into an alcohol store and find in Smirnoff. But I like it. It's one of those things that I'm not a beer.
I'm just surprised you're drinking grape.
I'm not a beer that's not my. Trust me, that's not my favorite flavor. Normally, I go for the apple or even the watermelon. But
do we have Jolly Ranchers?
No, but that wouldn't really work in this case.
Because you remember what Mom did.
Yeah, I know what Mom does. But it's just one of those things. Like, I'm not a beer person, so this is about as close as to beer. It's really strange because I hate the taste of beer. It just doesn't settle well in my stomach. But man, I could throw down some whiskey or maybe some Shine. I can definitely throw some of that stuff down pretty good, which I'll be doing in a few weeks.
Yeah, Mr. Rodeo, we're gonna have to stop the podcast for a week just for you to go there.
Yeah, because I'll be I will be coming back the day that we normally would do podcasts, so I'm really not gonna have time to prep the podcast for that week
unless I prep it throughout the weekend.
Well, you know what? If you
what week is that?
That will be the 2nd of September. So yeah.
Oh, great.
So there probably will not be a podcast that week. Otherwise,
unless I set it up.
Yeah, unless he sets something up, maybe does it himself, or maybe does it with
Sidious
or somebody else. Who knows?
Which he has not been opposed to doing it in the past.
Well, it's just Monday.
Considering I'm one of the main hosts of this,
It's Mondays though. That's always the problem for.
Yeah.
For Sidious. He's on dialysis, so he has dialysis on Mondays.
Okay.
It's definitely one of those. If you're gonna arrange that with him, he's gonna have to like come home, eat, and go to bed, so he can take his nap and be.
Oh, I know.
Functional for you in the podcast. But anyway, so yeah, you're going back to school for cybersecurity. I think it was an interesting choice. Like I didn't think it would be your first choice, but it was something you seemed like you were interested in. Unfortunately, I did not get to go. I didn't get to go to your orientation. I guess would be your
orientation, and there was the one night, but that was going back and forth to to both career centers and seeing both the options I was actually looking at.
Yeah.
And one, I just heard about how many people dropped out of it and whatnot, and I just didn't. Little did I know they had a multimedia thing, but that's at Pickerington, so I wouldn't have wanted to go there anyway.
Rival school. But yeah, it's one of those things like I'm excited to see what you ultimately end up doing with it. He had to take health class. He had to take summer school this year, so it was kind of
For health, yeah.
For some stupid reason, and this makes no sense. They know that there is a chance or a good possibility that you could go to one of those, one of the two tech schools.
Yeah, but no one talks to you about it until your sophomore year.
But you even said health was not available as a first year.
No, it was. I just didn't take it.
I could have swore you when that initially came on at
No, I just did not take it.
Okay, whatever.
Plus the teacher was crap, so online was better for me anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, that'll be happening this week. Shouldn't change the schedule for the show or for the podcast.
Definitely will change schedule for my streams over time.
Yeah, his streams will be in the afternoon and evenings after he completes his homework.
Yeah, homework and what little chores I have, get those done, and then
because he's learned the hard way what happens when his grades start slipping.
Hey, I've directly said my grades start slipping. I will devote all my time to that.
Yeah, well, you didn't have a choice in that matter.
No, this time around.
Well, this time around, it better not happen. That's pretty much the way it should work. So we rented a movie and we went and seen a movie last week. So last Tuesday, you didn't have your normal Tuesday thing you got.
Nope.
So we all went out as a family, went to go see Hobbs and Shaw.
Very interesting movie.
I was going to say, what was your impressions of it?
They did a lot of comedy. I was not expecting some of the people that were in there.
It definitely was more comedic than I thought it was going to be. The banter, the thing is, and I kind of wish
I want to know what all was ad-libbed in that movie.
That'd be interesting to know how much of that was ad-libbed.
Because almost none of that seemed forced.
I won't completely agree with you, but I won't completely disagree with you.
Okay, but not a lot of it was forced comedy.
Yeah.
It was a lot of action, a lot of comedy. Sadly, a lot of the action took place towards the end.
Yeah, true. Overall, it was one of those movies like it was one of those movies I didn't really have that much interest in seeing in the theaters, and honestly, that would be my recommendation to somebody. Don't go see it in the theaters. Don't buy it. Rent it from Redbox when it comes out.
If you like it, then buy it.
Yeah, that would be my, because you're either gonna kind of love it. Like if you're a real big fan of like the Red movie series, or the Expendables or something like that, it's very, very much in that style.
See, I would have gone to XXX.
XXX would be another. Yeah, XXX would be another one. The ones that are just kind of a He-Man, what I guess you call it, He-Man action flick in a certain way. Even though the woman that plays the sister of Shaw, she was a total badass in that movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was nice to actually see that.
I actually called it in my head when they first showed her. I'm like, that's gonna be someone's sister.
Yeah. But yeah, she was a total badass in the movie. Like I said, but it's one of those things like, if you're going in for a deep, deep story, don't. It's not that kind of movie.
I mean, it does show.
It's an action romp. It's what I would call an action romp, just to have something fun to mindlessly watch for a couple of hours.
I mean, it is a Fast and Furious movie.
Which I really, with the exception of the name of the characters, I kind of wish they just had left off the Fast and the Furious Presents. Because it is technically a spinoff of Fast and Furious, but I just kind of wish they had left that off.
It's kind of like the Tokyo Drift thing. It's a side thing that at some point will probably come back into the story.
at least Tokyo Drift ended up having some tie-in with the rest of the series. It was just
way later on.
It was just it was technically out of order as far as the history.
It was poor timing for when they did that because no one understood it when it happened.
Yeah, they didn't do a very good job explaining it, kind of where it fell in the timeline until what, a movie and a half later.
No, few movies later.
Yeah, because it was
after 5 or 6.
Yeah, then they went back and sort of went, hey, here's kind of why this happened and why things were where they were at.
Because it was the whole Shaw family thing that started up with Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, and that's one of those things I'd love to deep dive talk about, because that's the one thing that just kind of drives me nuts about the whole Shaw character. It's not that I don't like the character, but
the first Shaw character, second or third,
well,
or fourth if we're talking about Mama.
I'm talking about the
original Shaw.
Well, I'm talking about the one from this movie, from the Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, okay.
My thing about this one is they kind of make him out as kind of a not quite noble, but sort of noble badass that has a code or whatever. You got to remember, he killed Han.
No, he was not the one that killed Han. Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did kill Han.
He killed Han.
I thought it was the other.
He
Shaw
killed
for
Han to get to Dom. To get Dom to come out of hiding.
And in the end, they all started working together.
Yeah, and then in the end,
I was fully expecting
he saves
one of them to
his
die
kid.
when that happened.
There's this whole huge story arc that just, like, man, did they turn that character kind of flipping sideways.
Deep dive and stuff.
Yeah, he has
initiated.
Well, he has deep ties with his mom and all that. I mean, it's like, really, he went from being the bad guy.
The whole family was a family of spies and thieves, and one ends up being a cop. The other two went into thief.
Yeah,
it's like, really.
It is really weird.
I will say I loved how the ending, like the very last scene happened. Prison. With the mom and.
Oh yeah.
How long have you been working here?
Yeah. You know what? They could, and I think they should.
You look new.
They could tie her character from the Red movies to her character from.
Ooh, have them happen in the same universe.
Yeah, because she kind of plays almost the same character.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
Wouldn't it be cool though to have Bruce Willis and all those characters then have an interaction with Shaw and his mom in some?
If everyone could get on board, yes. Wait, they're both from Britain. Both her characters are from Britain, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
And not only the Red series, but of course Fast and Furious. They could totally pull that together.
I think they could. I really think they could.
They could. And then when they look at the rest of the family, go, "Where'd you guys come from?"
Yeah. Anyway,
you don't know much about her as you think.
Yeah, like I said, if you're into those type of movies, just kind of a roundup. If you're into the Red movies, the obviously the last couple of Fast and Furious. What was the one you mentioned?
Triple X.
The Expendables.
Xavier Cage.
This is almost exactly the same cookie cutter recipe.
There's a lot of action, a lot of comedy.
Yeah, a lot of banter
romance.
back and forth. Yeah, it just a lot of talking about the Rock sausage.
There was talks about both their sausages, okay?
I know, but I love that. I love that scene where he's like, where Shaw's like,
on the plane.
He's like, stay away from my sister. And he's like, well, she wants some of this sausage. Oh, that was just hilarious.
I did not expect, I will say this, Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart both.
Yeah.
I did not expect both of them in that movie.
Actually, it's funny because the next movie we talk about is also got Ryan Reynolds in it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a double take there.
We've been seeing too much of him here lately.
No. Bring me another Deadpool, damn it.
Well, they have to get Disney to actually not do PG-13.
Why? I mean, they've done said there's going to be another Deadpool movie, but I want to.
Yeah, but they PG-13 it,
It's not. No, they said they were fine with him doing rated R
because he was already rated R before they got him.
Now the only way he might turn PG-13, and that's if he
the gore and guts.
Well, that's if he does like an Avengers or a crossover, which I know exactly what they're going to do. If they ever do Deadpool in a crossover, Deadpool, they're going to censor him. Like they'll blank out his mouth every time he curses, and he's going to do the fourth wall talk, and go, really, Disney.
Oh yeah, that's just perfect for the character.
Yeah, that's how I foresee.
They need to play on his schizophrenia in the third movie.
I mean,
they haven't played on it yet.
That's one of those things. So we rented Detective Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Which was it's funny, we were doing that the whole movie.
No, you and Mom were doing that the whole movie. I was over in the corner.
So was Doc.
Okay. I was over in the corner, literally saying each Pokemon I saw and knew.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We were playing Name That Pokemon.
There was a few I couldn't.
I'm not the hugest Pokemon fan. I'm not like deep in it. I do play Pokemon Go. I understand the general story of the Pokemon thing. I will say, as far as these type of we'll call it crossover movies, this is probably the best one I've seen yet. We get into talking about me and Sidious were talking about The Last Airbender, which we try not to talk about because it should not exist. And
X-Men's Origins should not exist. Thank you very much.
Oh, don't get me started.
Last Airbender wasn't bad. They just need to do more movies.
No, the Last Airbender movie blew. Okay, they didn't even get the kid's name right from the show.
It's Aang.
It's Aang. It's not Ong. It pretty much blew any like for M. Night Shyamalan that I sort of had prior to. It's kind of like Rian Johnson in the last Star Wars movie. I can't stand the director anymore. Dragon Ball Z, that one obviously was horrible.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat was never really that great. I mean, it had moments.
Hey, they should be able to do better now with this up and coming one.
I know.
I have hope for it.
I have just a glimmer of hope.
I have hope. I've seen the originals. They weren't good.
So yeah, so Detective Pikachu, a lot of fun. Especially if you're a Pokemon fan, you're gonna do exactly what we did, which is play Name That Pokemon.
There should have been a mode for the movie.
There really should have been like one of those apps. You know how the companion apps where if you watch the movie with the app and then you do certain things, and I kind of wish they had something like that. I'll have to check to make sure they don't, but frankly, I think it's one of those things they should have added that. That would have been a fun little feature to, or had an add-on for if you like watching the movie and if you connect it on your Wi-Fi, you could do Pokemon Go on.
No, that would be a way to just get Pokemon that's way out in future for that.
But it was a fun movie for what it was. I think overall we kind of enjoyed it. I mean, it's one of those, like, it wasn't another one of those movies I would go see in the movie theater. It's not, it was a rent. I'll pick it up when it's cheap, I think. Ryan Reynolds was funny in it, which was, to be expected. It's Ryan Reynolds. Like I said, if you're into that thing, I think it's a worth watch. I'd say rent.
The one line I did not hear that I wanted to hear was not there. Which sad.
What one was that?
Pika F word.
They weren't going to do that. It's a kids movie. Sort of.
Yeah, but if they would have at least showed him, if they would have showed a separation there, that would have, and he comes out saying it, that would have been awesome.
Well, I think they do a little teaser thing where I think they blurped it out, but I think they did a thing with him
I'll have to look for it.
Pikachu doing that.
I have to look for it.
Yeah, I think there was something. All right, so
now I have to look for it.
Let's move on to the first actual topic of the night.
Yeah, that we've been talking for 20 minutes on that. Oops.
Yeah. So, 2K Gearbox going after the YouTube Submoto or Motto or something like that. I mean, I'm probably mispronouncing it.
Matto.
I've heard it pronounced like 4 different ways, and so they sent investigators to his house to question him about the recent Borderlands 3 leaks that he's been doing on his YouTube channel. Approximately 30 minutes after that meeting or discussion with those investigators happened, he got hit with 7 copyright strikes, and his Discord channel had been shut down. Now, the Discord channel, he got kind of a generic message about selling or promoting hacks, which he said none of that was going on. We're all taking this as alleged at this point. I am keen to believe his story, or most of his story, based on what I've seen online, based on what I've read about what how the whole thing went down. So essentially, here's the breakdown. A few months back, there was a trailer for the Twitch extension EchoCast. Now, EchoCast is going to be a special feature thing for Twitch. So if you're say if I'm watching my favorite Borderlands YouTuber, I could receive extra items to use in my play of the game. So you get kind of like bonus content for watching Borderlands YouTubers. And apparently during that trailer, they incidentally showed the name of the test account that they were using to test this feature. So it's one of those things like the exposed accounts, he says, was not actually discovered by him, but it was pointed out in posted forums like Reddit and he said, although the channel's, and they followed it. So they said, although the channel's content wasn't viewable, thumbnails were. And I have seen this before. I know exactly what he's talking about. This is kind of, I don't know if you wouldn't necessarily want to call it a glitch, but it is
Exploit.
I wouldn't.
Exploit.
It's not technically an exploit because it's something that Twitch has known forever. But yeah, apparently it creates thumbnails, and those thumbnails were viewable, and he was using those thumbnails in his videos. And here's where I tend to agree. Apparently, his thought was because these things were on Twitch, they were basically on, they were in public domain at that point. Frankly, I find this is almost the same situation of, let's say if there's a live event and they're streaming some news thing, and say something happens, and everybody has seen it. Everybody has, it's out it's open sesame on Facebook, on YouTube, on whatever. Yeah. It's considered public domain at that point. It is available. It is easily accessible to everyone. And, but yeah, these guys basically tried to take down his YouTube channel. They did remove 6 of the 7 copyright strikes, but there's one video apparently that still has it. He did shut down his Twitter, but that was just to prevent a lot of problems that would come with the social media aspect of what's going on. He came back with a video explaining his side of the story, what happened. He says in his video that he's taking a break and that he may not return or buy Borderlands 3. Because most of his channel was all Borderlands 3 stuff, or Borderlands type content. The response from Take-Two was Take-Two and 2K take the security and confidentiality of trade secrets very seriously. And this was a comment made to The Verge. The action we have taken is a result of a 10-month investigation and a history of the creator profiting from breaking our policies, leaking confidential information about our product, and infringing our copyrights.
See, this is my thing with this one. They're going to do an investigation on this guy from the shadows for 10 months. And then out of nowhere go, hey, we believe you're the big one doing this. We're going to just attack you.
I understand your thought, but your thought process is in the wrong place. Here's my problem with the thing. I totally agree that this stuff was.
He had no clue that any of this was going on.
Hold on. I totally agree that this stuff should be considered public domain, which is probably why he's not getting sued, because they wouldn't have a case. Technically, this stuff was leaked by them and Twitch, so that this is not.
And Twitch did say that they were going to be looking into all that.
There was some comments from Twitch saying that they were going to investigate the whole thing on their side. Here's the thing. It says profiting from breaking our policies. There is no damn policy I'm sure this guy's ever signed with 2K or Take-Two. Yes, he was leaking confidential information about their product that they technically were leaking themselves, and infringing on the copyrights. He was reporting. His videos were transformative in nature. This is the kind of thing that H3 went through a whole court battle over. So there is well-established guidelines on what these kind of things are considered, which is exactly why they didn't file a copyright lawsuit or didn't file a lawsuit against the guy. They just, quietly tried to shut him down. And needless to say, it wasn't too quiet, especially considering this guy's only had 170,000 subs. This thing exploded on the internet. I'd be curious to see what I subbed to him just so I could kind of see where this ends up going. Curious to see any more, when more videos do start popping up from him again, if they do. I'm sure I'm probably not the only one that's doing that, but for a guy that had, like I said, had about 170,000 subs at the time, which is not a lot in the YouTube realm.
Considering the most sub to channels, like 97 million people.
Yeah, no. I mean, Philip DeFranco's in the 5-6 range. I mean, those are pretty big.
I mean, I have a few YouTubers I watch 1 million, 2 million,
yeah,
17 million, 21 million.
Yeah, I'm sure I've got several in that range. I think it's wrong. I think these people need to back off, frankly. There was a big hashtag, and I didn't write it down. I don't really care in that respect. Are
you talking about the boycott hashtag?
Yeah, it was kind of like a boycott hashtag for Borderlands 3. Now, I have said that I will not buy Borderlands 3 on Epic. That's because I want I want all the same series of games on the same platform. However, I will say that if this kind of stuff continues, I will consider not buying it. I don't put up with this kind of stuff. This is my problem with Star Trek. I try not to give money to Paramount and Star Trek because I don't like it. I absolutely despise their policies versus fan films and stuff, and the crackdown that they've been doing with those type of things is just atrocious. There are certain things I totally understand, but for the fans that are just doing it to do it, and they're not monetizing videos and stuff like that, and they're literally just sending takedown notices, or it's BS, total BS. I mean, they technically went after former, because remember that there was that one show, Renegades, that Star Trek was doing, and they were going after, and most of those were actors that played the parts in Star Trek. They were playing they were obviously wanting to reprise their roles. One of them was directed by the guy that played Tuvok. I think on Renegades, Tuvok was like the director or something. He was kind of producing it.
Yeah.
and they
God, I don't know what's going on right now.
And as a kind of a big FU to them, they literally took out the whole Star Trek or Starfleet. They changed the whole thing up so there's no way it would infringe on their copyrights, which I thought was hilarious. But they basically still played themselves in the.
You're basically skipping this one.
Yeah.
You started to skip over it.
This is kind of
You want me to start?
Yeah,
this?
Go ahead and do this one.
The death of loot boxes. We've all been wanting this to happen for a long time now, especially because we all feel
Ow, sorry.
stuff like Call of Duty, being able to pay to basically get better guns is a piece of crap. You should not be able to do that and pay to win in those types of games.
Well, the problem with a lot of loot boxes is not even that it's pay to win, but you're getting you never,
don't know the chances and you don't know how much you're going to spend.
I mean, how many? I can't count the number of times. Even in the free loot boxes that you get in games, it's like you get the same crap over and over and over and over again, and never get anything you really want. So, yeah, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony are committed for all publishers with loot boxes in their games to disclose the odds of getting certain items.
Which technically, I will say this, Rockstar, okay, would you say that their Lucky Wheel is a sort of loot box for the casino update? Yes or no?
I
would, in general consensus, I would say yes. It's a type.
Because I guess technically you have to pay $500 a day, right? Is that how that works? Unless you have the penthouse.
You don't have to. You just pay $500 in game, and you have the membership.
See, that's different. The problem with most of these loot boxes, most of them try to entice you to
pay for in-game currency.
Right, pay for in-game currency, that then turn around and use that to buy more loot boxes or more spins of the wheel, if you will. Where the GTA thing doesn't really do that. But this was an announcement made at an FTC. I put it as an FTC workshop. It's kind of a...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was kind of a meeting with the FTC concerning loot boxes. There wasn't an exact date given, but they did say they were targeting by the end of 2020 to have everyone on board. Why don't you read the official announcement that's listed there?
In a post on the website, the ESA says that the industry is taking major steps towards making parents and potential purchasers aware of what they're spending their money on. Several video game industry leaders are announcing new initiatives to help consumers make informed choices about their purchases, including loot boxes. The post says that the major console maker Sony Interactive Entertainment, the operator PlayStation, Microsoft, which is Xbox, and Windows, and Nintendo, who is, of course, the Switch, are committing to new platform policies that will require paid loot boxes in games developed for their platforms to disclose information on the relative rarity or probability of obtaining randomized virtual items. They will require disclosures apply to game updates, and if the update adds new loot box features.
Yeah, and this is a thing where we've started seeing recently. Now, I think Kind of Funny Games guys, they were talking about this, and they made an interesting comment to the effect of, is this going to change the rate at which certain things drop? And their comment was, yeah, it probably is, because now
they're going to make it seem like everything drops more often.
Right. The good stuff's going to start dropping more often because they're going to have to disclose what the drop rate is, and if the drop rate is so low that most people wouldn't even bother to.
If most people run the numbers, they're probably going to end up spending a couple $100, maybe $1,000 just trying to get the one thing they want.
Right, and so they think it will make loot boxes better. For the ones that...
I can see it making stuff better, definitely.
Now, in a kind of a weird tie-in, Rocket League announced that it is removing all paid randomized crates by the end of the year. Which actually we saw, comment was they showed on the Xbox, but I got to see about on the PC version. They also have a Knight Rider car edition.
Yep, I saw that.
So I gotta see what that entails. I might actually purchase. I'm not a big Rocket fan, but I do enjoy it. I'll fire it up every once in a while.
I haven't
play a few rounds.
In so long.
It's been a while, but it's one of those fun games. Like you can play a few rounds with your friends and then move on, and
Nothing
come
really
back
ever
to it.
changes.
You can come back to it and play. You know what I mean? It's not one of those ones like you gotta. It's not like Call of Duty where you gotta move up in your levels and you gotta hash out to get all the good stuff. And it's a game you can just have fun with.
Yeah, it's what future soccer with cars.
With like RC cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the best way to describe it. So that'd be interesting. I think I hate loot boxes. I hate the concept of loot boxes.
I hate paid loot boxes. That
well, my thing is that
if you get the chance to get it in game, you get the chance to get it in game.
If they want to offer some things, I don't appreciate the things that do change the odds of winning. But if they want to add skins and things like that to the games and make that a paid thing, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like cosmetics.
Cosmetic stuff I'm fine with. It's just when it's like, and the bad part is I'm a bit of a hypocrite now that I think about it, because I actually bought one of those in-game on Forza Horizon. I paid the $2 and something to unlock where I could see where all the billboards and stuff, all the collectible stuff is.
Hypocrite.
I am a bit of a hypocrite. I just realized that I am a hypocrite. Yeah, I paid I think it was on sale for like $2.30. I'm like, yeah, screw it. That way I don't have to hunt down all these damn billboards. I mostly did it just for the billboards. But I don't typically I don't appreciate those kind of things. But
I usually don't buy loot boxes.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll do the random ones whenever I get like the freebie stuff, but that's beyond that. I don't pay for them. Apparently the Samsung Galaxy Fold has been fixed and will be on sale in September. And
now we're going to find ways to break it in ways it's not supposed to.
That was pretty much my thing. It's kind of like the joke of waiting who's going to be the first person to crash Corvette, and we found that out this week. You know what I mean? It's like, who's going to be the first person to break a Galaxy Fold?
See, they need to make it to where someone could bend it the way it's supposed to be bent, but if they do it hard and fast, it's not going to snap the screen in half.
I appreciate the concept. I really do. I want that futuristic, super thin, folded up, in half.
Fold up and put in your pocket.
I
it
want.
Takes less space.
I want that. Yeah, I want that, but I know that is so far away that it's not even funny.
Heck, getting a chip implanted in the upper part of your wrist to display your phone and use that.
See, I don't want.
It's closer in the future than.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that because to me,
I
wouldn't want to hold my wrist like this all day long playing games and.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Or no, that's where the secondary chip in the head comes, and you just tap.
Oh, don't get me started.
And it brings up.
Especially after watching Anita Battle Angel, that was the other one we just watched, or I just watched here before the show.
Well, yeah, that was far futuristic. That's far in the future.
But yeah, I mean it's.
I love all the future stuff that you see in sci-fi movies, and then later on you go, "Oh crap, that's actually coming to life."
Yeah, I also don't like the prices of cell phones. To me, are just atrocious. Like they drive me nuts. I'm technically due for a new phone, but I almost don't like. I really don't want to get a new phone. Like I hate paying the money. I hate paying almost $1,000 for a phone, which is hilarious because I bought that new one for your mom here at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And I'm almost tempted to pay the $150 to $200 and get another exact copy and pay like $300 less. Like I'm thinking about paying a couple $100 because I could pay a couple $100 to pay it off early to get an upgrade.
Yeah.
And if I could get the same phone for cheaper, and then the payment would be like $10 less a month. I guess I'm crazy like that, but
now see this. The next one, if you're ready to move on.
I'm fine. Move on.
This next one kind of makes me mad.
Oh, this is.
I used to love Walmart. Walmart, you're getting on my You're getting on my list here. You're just making me mad like everything else here.
As a former Walmart employee, I hate Walmart. I hate just about everything about Walmart. I do occasionally shop at Walmart because I have to, not because I really want to. Just because they have certain things at certain prices that I can't find, or something I can't find somewhere else. And this doesn't surprise me. Like, this really does not surprise me. Walmart removing all violent advertisement. Now, this initially gained traction under the games category, but apparently this did include movies and like videos from the hunting and fishing section.
Okay, Walmart, you took it too far. You took that way too far.
Yeah, and this was.
Thank you, politicians, for ruining everything.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that people are upset because they're not taking guns and ammo out of the stores. Which, frankly, I am a firm believer in the Second Amendment. I do have my limits to that rule of Second Amendment. But what I will say is, I do exactly feel the same way. It's like you're taking all these ads and video game demos and stuff like that out of your store because of what happened
in Dayton and El Paso.
But you're not removing guns and ammo if that's your stance on it. Now, here's their official response. We have taken this action out of respect for the incidents that happened this week. This action does not reflect a long-term change in our video game assortment and are continuing a thoughtful and thorough review of our policies. I guarantee that this is going to go away. It better, but it probably will. They're doing it just to say they're doing something. That's what I feel this is.
Most likely.
They're just doing it to pretend that they're doing something. Because this probably cost them a whole next to nothing as far as money is concerned.
No, because they probably just put it in the back room and
It probably
it's going to pull the same stuff out in probably like a week or two.
Yep, it probably got put on a shelf and they'll bring it out in a few weeks. It'd be.
It's like if you're going to do it, throw it all away.
Well, they'll probably send them new stuff because that stuff changes every once a month anyway. So,
yeah. And what, in two weeks you're going to have end of month anyway?
Yeah, in a few more weeks it'll be end of the month. People have forgotten about it, and then they'll put the stuff back out. But yeah, this is one of those things that just drives me nuts. It's a half-hearted response that they're doing for the sake of saying they did it.
And is it even all Walmart stores or just a few?
No, it's all.
Oh, okay. I thought it was only a few.
Yeah, and it was
Texas and Ohio.
No, it was all stores. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh,
You're too tired.
I'm so tired.
Well, we do got stuff to do in the morning.
But yeah, like I said, as somebody who's been a former Walmart employee, none of that surprised. None of what I've read or seen about this particular thing surprises me.
I just looked at it and avoided it because I knew I would say something I didn't want to put out there. And then you're putting this in here. I'm like, really? I have to give my opinion now?
Oh, now the next topic is
this one actually does infuriate me. As a Twitch streamer myself, this infuriates me.
So, Ninja, that everybody knows who he is and what he is, and and most people know that he recently switched from Twitch to Mixer. He got
a big payout.
Right, he got a big payout to move to Mixer, and I think he was looking for something different. So obviously his channel technically still exists, but it says it's offline. Now, what was it specifically saying? It was saying that Ninja has left the castle, but you can check out these other.
Yeah, they did a Mario thing with it. The streamer you were looking for is in the next castle.
Yeah, in a different castle or something like that.
And that was kind of like the Mario thing they did with it. They took away his Twitch verification check mark.
Right.
Which would make anyone mad.
Which we talked about last week.
And yet they haven't done that to any of the other people who had full-born left Twitch. And they were testing a new thing where what they said it would bind the community together. It would bring them together more by letting bigger streamer channels host other channels, smaller people.
Well, no, it wasn't host. What it would do, it would
broadcast it.
No. What they were doing, I saw the screenshot of it. it was like a billboard. So it would say this streamer is not just like we said that he's not in this castle right now. Check these other possible, and it gave a list.
Oh, the recommended list.
It gave you like a recommended list with little thumbnails or whatever, and you can click on one and move to that channel. Now that they've never done this with any other Twitch streamer, they just so happen to do this on Ninja, who just recently left. And they've been poking jabs at him for a few
on his
weeks
channel
now.
has 14 million followers.
Right. On his Twitch channel, he had like 14 million followers.
And people are still checking his channel.
Right. So in that recommended list, apparently there was one channel that was number one slot on that board, and they were streaming porn.
Yeah.
Because, the internet is for porn.
I was really hoping you would bring the song into this.
So, grab and double click and for porn.
I really hope no one gets that reference other than me and Sidious. I really hope. And don't you dare even go, no. I know what you're about to do. You're about to go deeper into that song. Leave it alone.
Anybody that
and here he goes.
Anybody that wants to know, do a search for Guild Wars. Internet is for porn. There's a couple of variations of that song. I prefer the Guild Wars one because I'm an old Guild Wars fan.
Well,
but there's a version.
Both of us are.
Yeah, there's several different versions of that same song.
Most are the same.
And but it's a hilarious kind of YouTube meme song. And but anyway, yeah. So needless to say, he was a little pissed off about it.
The way Twitch described this was, our community comes to Twitch looking for live content to help ensure they find great live channels. We've been experimenting with showing recommended content across Twitch, including on streamers' pages that aren't offline. Twitch CEO Emmett Shear tweeted on late Sunday evening.
Yeah, and then after everything blew up about the, obviously about the channel that was streaming porn,
he came back with a response to this.
So his rebuttal, and I'll let you read that rebuttal to that.
He said, however, the lewd content that appeared on the offline channel page grossly violates our terms of service, and we've permanently suspended the account in question. Shear continued, we have also suspended these recommendations while we investigate how this content came to be promoted. On a more personal note, I apologize and want to apologize directly to Ninja that this happened. It wasn't our intent, but it should not have happened. No excuses.
Yeah, and a lot of big...
To be honest, it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it shouldn't have happened at all. A lot of Twitch streamers are kind of PO'd about it. Obviously, they, like I said, they did turn that feature off. Ninja is trying to get them to disable his account.
I think there's a straight up setting in your profile stuff that will let you disband your account.
I think he's in the
Twitter has that.
I think he's in the process of trying to make that happen. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we found out like in 5 days he had like a million subs, but I guess I heard they're doing a thing if you sign up and sub to him, you get for like a month or so many months free on Mixer, something like that. So it'll be interesting in 6 or 8 months to see what the real numbers are. Because right now I think they're misinflated. But I heard as far as his congruent viewership is really good for the platform. So apparently they're pleased with his level of interaction.
I even looked at, because he's known for streaming Fortnite. He does stream Fortnite on Twitch. I mean, not Twitch, Mixer. I looked at Mixer's numbers on Fortnite compared to Twitch's, and they're half the size. Now, when Ninja's offline, they're quarter the size.
So he's definitely a big part of the platform.
Oh, yeah. Because I've checked on times where, the biggest streamer on Twitch that does Fortnite, Tfue, is on and streaming at the same time Ninja is and when they're both not. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
it's interesting to see how the numbers fluctuate.
I want to say there was something else we wanted to add, and I don't remember. It's not. I know it's not on the board.
What, the games I've been playing, or?
Oh, there was something else. There was something else you and I started to talk about, and said we needed to add it because it was kind of it came up last minute. Oh my god, what was it?
Well, the Ninja stuff was last minute today because I found the article.
Yeah, I feel like I forget. There was some other side topic we kind of wanted to chat about, but I don't know. I'm sure we'll remember it after the fact. That's how it usually works. But anyway, that's actually all the topics.
Yeah. We actually blasted through those last few ones quick.
Yeah, we did. But we're rolling around an hour, so we're in pretty good shape. Yeah, like I said, he goes back to school Thursday, right?
Yep.
So yeah,
I will probably. I'm thinking about not streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and having that Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule.
I have to see what your school schedule kind of looks like. I guess would probably be the better way.
And how much work I'm going to have, and because that's truly going to decide it. Like obviously Thursday and Friday, it's going to be the first days of school for me. I won't really have any work, so I'll still stream as usual those first few days. But it just depends on how everything goes.
I think I just ripped my pants.
He means literal. I'm watching him do this over here, and I'm hearing the sounds.
You heard it too?
I'm hearing stretch, stretch, stretch.
Yeah. Okay.
You just wore those things.
I was kind of pulling my shorts down and
caught the underwear.
Yeah, I think I ripped my underwear.
You're going to check that off camera, okay?
Yeah, I kind of have to because otherwise your channel might get shut down.
Yeah, I don't need that.
I ripped my pants.
You need your brown pants.
My brown pants. But it'll be so expect his schedule to change a little bit. The as far as the podcast, everything should, with the exception of September 2nd, we probably will not have an episode. It's kind of going to be
I will tweet out and let know on Discord if you guys are in my Discord or follow me on Twitter. And he'll probably repost my tweet.
Yeah.
To anyone that follows him.
So if you want to find us, we stream live on twitch.tv/SpiderARA 713 between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're also available on most major podcast services, include Anchor, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, just to name a few. You can find me at MyDoneLife on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me at SpiderARA713 on Twitter and Spider's Nest 713 on Instagram.
So that's the show for this week. Hope everybody has a great day. Have a great week. And I guess we will catch you next week.
Yep. We will see you guys next week. If I can get this.
Transition.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great day.